last or the fourth one, 13, nothing wrong.
Well, we had a few good looks to start and didn't make them, and then we turned it over. I think we had 6 turnovers in the fourth. Just went through one of those stretches where it felt like we were fumbling a lot. The ball, just kind of weird. We've had a few of those this year where just this ball got really slippery for us. But again, that got us in a little bit of a hole, but somehow found a way to keep fighting, which was good.
What exactly happened with that review at the end of the first overtime?
What happened was it wasn't a review.
So that you just called timeout.
I just called timeout because I had 2 left with 0.3 left to burn it, just to see if we could ice him, and that was it.
Like at some point, did you say to them, like, what are you guys doing at some point?
I came out of the timeout and I was wondering what was going on. Yeah, like what's happening.
And did Paul and Joel hit limits, I assume, at the end of that overtime?
Yeah. I mean, they both were, playing, and that was just kind of about as much as they had, to be honest. And they just couldn't use Joel in the second, and Paul obviously went out, I think, early in the first overtime, I think. Yeah, and VJ hit his limit too.
How would you to not have Joel's gravity out there in the second overtime?
I mean, obviously, it's like you say it right. There's a place to go with the basketball. There's a whole bunch of stuff we can run through him. He draws a lot of attention to get other guys freed up, and then we, you don't have it. But I thought the guys did a decent job of still creating some pretty decent shots. I mean, it was really physical. Like, we were trying to set some screens for Tyrese with some of our smaller guys, and we just couldn't even hardly get up there because of the physicality. But they did execute a few good plays. But I think it gives us a pretty simple package when Joel's in there of a few things we can do to get some good looks. I think he had a really good look to start the overtime. I think went in and out, right? Yeah.
I think all of Joel's minutes came alongside Tyrese. Was that sort of like part of your scripted plan? It seemed like you did less staggering of Joel and Tyrese and Paul playing them more together and then doing more bench-heavy lineups.
Yeah. I mean, I think, listen, the tricky part came with 3 guys with minutes restrictions. We felt like the reason we didn't start VJ the second half is we knew he had to play for Tyrese in the second half, and it just so happened that those kind of came at the same time Joel had the early stint and was out and that kind of stuff. But it's not. I think in a game like that, with a lot of stuff going on, I don't think the plans that you plan out beforehand come much into play. To be honest, you're just going by feel and what's going on. Matchups played a part. We were trying to keep Barlow matched up a little bit with Johnson just for some size, etc.
Overall, I guess, how would you just assess how Joel looked tonight?
Well, I thought since he hasn't played in 3 weeks, right? I thought he made some decent moves on offense. He got us again some open space to play in. I think he created a lot of offense. I think for the first time in 3 weeks, and probably his most minutes by at least, I'm not sure, 6, 7, or 8 of the year. I think 22 he was at mostly. Yeah, I thought he played pretty good.
What did you think of VJ look?
I thought he looked great. Would have probably really could have used him. Right. Thought he looked great.
Joel, especially in his fourth quarter stints and the overtime stint, do you have to resist not trying to force the ball to him too much offensively, or how well do you think you guys had that balance of knowing how limited his time is and trying to make the most of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we did give him some variety. I think that I was putting Joel in as a pin down guy there for a while. And then our plan was to run that for a little bit, then flip it around and pin down for him to come off for some jump shots. And I think most of those worked pretty well. I'm not sure we made them all, but I think they were creating the shots we were looking for. And there was a few. I liked a couple times we put him in the corner. And we had Paul and Barlow playing screen and roll in the middle like that. I think it did get fired out to Joel, and he uphill DH'd over to Q, and Q turned the corner and laid it in. It was pretty good. All right.
Nick, obviously the result isn't what you wanted, but you mentioned to Adam what you could do with all the different matchups with all the players tonight. So 2 questions. How satisfying was that as a coach to be able to sort of use all the pieces you thought you could? And what are the prospects, do you think, of this unit going forward?
Listen, I think that I never get real satisfaction out of not winning, right? Right now, though, we got so thin over the last 10, 12 days. It's just nice to have a few guys filtering back in. That's like, hopefully, we can come out of this okay. And obviously we will try to recover and rejuvenate tomorrow. And hopefully we can get most of the guys back on the floor Tuesday again. And then just, hopefully minute restrictions will start going up a little bit, those kind of things. And that is something to look forward to. Yeah.
Drummond played the back half of the first quarter and then not again. Is he okay? Was that just limiting his minutes because?
No, he was sore at halftime. They ruled him out, and he just knee was sore from the other night. Just didn't feel like he could go in the second half, so they ruled him out.
Tyrese for the first 3 quarters and didn't shoot the ball especially well, but then the fourth quarter overtime, so he's going. What do you think kind of changed?
I don't know. I think you're right. I think I looked down and I looked up one time and he had 36. I couldn't believe it because it felt like he had a ton of great looks that he just wasn't hitting anything. I don't know what he went from 3, but 2 for 13. That's what it felt like. Felt like more than that, but he hung in there. I thought he did a heck of a job of navigating their length down the lane in the fourth and in the overtime. Those are some long athletes, a bunch of them down there, and Daniels obviously was draped on him, and he's one of the league's best defenders. So he had a lot to navigate there, and somehow he still did it. Yeah.
I'm really good to have Joel back and just have all 3 of you guys together for the first time this year.
Great, really cool. It was amazing.
Tyrese, I guess kind of just what happened there in the fourth quarter. It just seemed like Atlanta turned you guys over a lot, got going in rhythm. Just what happened from your perspective?
Yep, they turned us over. So at the beginning of the full quarter, Keaton hit some big shots, like a layup and a 3. They made some tough layups, but we kept fighting, so that's okay.
I know how much you value making your free throws. So just when you go to the line at the end of overtime, just kind of what is going through your mind, and how do you sort of then get back together?
Same. I just thought I was gonna make them, and we'll figure it out after that. But it's like that's what I get from messing with VJ.
With Joel back, what was it? How good of a job do you think he has to kind of integrating him into the offense, especially when he has those kind of stints late? You kind of have to not try to force it to him too much. What's that balance kind of like for you guys?
It's different, because we he's still really good. We still gotta give him the ball. You know what I mean? We also gotta run our stuff. It's gonna come with time. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all said, that's our first time playing in the game with VJ and Joe, and I think that may have been of course, so it's VJ's first time playing with Joel and Paul. A lot of guys' first time playing with them. So we haven't really practiced, with that group. So it's kind of hard. But, that's no excuse. I think we did a good enough job to win the game, play well, got to finish those out.
The way that the end of regulation, overtime, second overtime, the ups and downs physically, emotionally of all that, just what does it take then to sort of just like regather yourself and to handle everything that comes with the game?
Game's over. Nothing. It's over.
I mean, like in the midst of it, like
okay.
like going from because the high of the end of regulation,
roller coaster.
overtime.
Basketball is a roller coaster. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's a game of runs. People always say it. That's how it goes. You keep fighting to the end. That was a great job of us. Keep fighting to the end. Great rebound by Paul. Made some big shots. We did a good job.
Are you the least bit conscious about who's defending you? Like, you have an all-defensive guy, and does that get you more geeked up or anything like that? Or does that impact you even the least?
I just trying to win. I don't care. It don't really matter to me. If we start talking about Dyson's really good. He's really good.
That was obviously the first time you, Tyrese, Joe, all played together this season. Just what do you feel like you guys kind of discovered or recaptured tonight? Sort of how do you hope to use that to move forward?
Yeah, I mean, it was just great to get out there with those guys. Just log minutes together. I thought it was just a ton of excitement. But we obviously got work to do. But it was just great, again, for how hard we've been trying to work to get healthy and get back on the court and be available. It was great that we were able to be out there together tonight.
What are some things that you guys thought you did well that kind of gives you a little bit, when the full five were out there, gives you a little bit of hope for the next week? Or
I thought offensively it kind of felt like we did have a better little rhythm out there, kind of picking and choosing different lineups to, incorporate, whether it was pick and roll or just positioning on the floor. And then defensively, I thought, there was, a lot of positives there. But again, all of it is now just got to get to work and try to be consistent together.
You talked before the season about probably playing a lot more at the four, but Barlow's given you guys big minutes there. I guess what have you made of sharing the floor with him and just his season overall through these first however many games?
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun playing with Barlow. He's that Swiss Army knife that kind of just does everything, plays the right way, plays hard, has a great just basketball IQ, kind of knows where to be on the floor. And he's athletic, so it's just a live young body that's huge for us. But it's been fun. I'm sure forward with him too.
So the way that game was between the emotions of tie the game, go to overtime, go to double overtime, just not your first time. Obviously, you've been in situations like that, but I'm sure some of these guys, maybe it is, or not as many times. Just how do you sort of handle all that comes with just the emotional roller coaster of a game like that?
It's easy, it's not over till it's over. You kind of just stay in the fight, stay, locked into the challenge. And, again, it's not over till the zero's on the clock. So, at that point, it's comes down to who wants it more. And, it's the team that comes out on top.
Paul, how are you feeling physically? Obviously, you came back from the knee and then had the ankle issue. But been back on the
Yeah, I feel good. I asked for more minutes out there, just how the game was going, how my body was feeling. Back got a little tight, but that's gonna happen. That was the most minutes I've kind of played consecutively, so it's good. It's nothing to be concerned with. But I feel good being back on the floor. Again, I think it's just try to get rhythm. The biggest thing is just trying to find rhythm and trying to keep rhythm and seeing where shots will come and just put the work in now. I think I'm kind of, the bird leaving the nest, getting to fly and flap my wings a little bit more. So it feels good to kind of be on the healthy side.
To the point about rhythm, you guys are going to have kind of a mini break with this NBA Cup schedule coming up. I'm sure you individually probably want to keep playing and get into that rhythm. But with all the injuries and stuff you guys are dealing with, do you think that'll benefit you guys over the long term?
Yeah, absolutely. And then it's, for the guys that's been logging heavy minutes, it's going to be great for them, get a little break. But, I'm going to try to use that time off wisely with, getting work in, trying to use the coaching, the player development crew to kind of stay sharp, stay ready. But, I think it's a win-win for us to kind of get healthy, the guys that have, a couple things going on, and then again the guys that have been playing these heavy minutes, it's a great reset for those guys. So I think we're one team that should be looking forward to a nice little break there.
Tyrese is obviously one of those guys that's been playing heavy minutes, 52, I think, tonight. Is there ever a moment where you look at him and go, man, how is he able to still kind of generate the energy for double overtime or anything like that?
Man, he's a warrior. He's a warrior. There's no question about it. He's a warrior. He's a fighter. He takes so many hits, teams holding, grabbing. He hits the ground so many times. He bounces right back up. Again, I keep saying it, man. It's just it's a leadership about him. And when he's out there, I play for him. I do everything I can to make the game easier for him. He's our guy, so it's inspiring. As me as a vet, it's inspiring for a guy to consistently do it and to be efficient. With all the minutes that he's playing. It's impressive.
Well, how do you feel right now coming off your first game and obviously quite a few weeks physically?
Okay. Pretty good. To get back out there and play basketball.
This was the first game of the year. You, Tyrese, and PG were all able to play. I guess how did that feel? And I guess what's the next steps there for you guys as a trio?
Good. Keep playing. Keep playing, with each other and then keep getting better.
Joel, what was the biggest hurdle holding you back, I guess? Maybe like the last week or so. We know you came and reported soreness after the morning of the Boston game. So what's been the challenge maybe the last week or so that you've been questionable and then ruled out?
Obviously I had a few core sessions and sometimes it responds well, sometimes it doesn't. And if you feel like you got a chance to play, you play, and it's not too bad. And if it doesn't respond, the way you want to, then they make that decision.
Joe, you said before the season, obviously, that if to stay positive, and if anything popped up, just manage it and deal with it, and then proceed forward. To do that, I guess, for the first time when something did kind of pop up that you had to manage, I guess just putting that mentality into practice. Just how do you feel like that just went overall for you?
It was okay. I mean, obviously, like I said, it's going to happen, so you can't put your head down and worry about it. You keep, working hard and trying to get back at it. I suppose it's possible. And what can you do? The only thing you can do is keep doing the right things, focusing on the right things, and then just go from there.
What was the turning point that led you from going to out to questionable to being back tonight for you? Was it just kind of getting up and you felt good?
I don't want to talk about the injury. Obviously, we had a tough game. We lost, so that was a terrible loss. But we put ourselves in tough situations the whole game. So we just gotta fix it.
You obviously hit that first shot right off the bat. It looked like the rhythm was really good. Did you feel good about the way you were able to kind of separate back into where you were in that Toronto game with your shot and your rhythm offensively?
Unfortunately, obviously I had the Boston game and up until Toronto, I started, I was actually getting back, to myself and feeling like myself, point a minute, defensively, I look so much better than I looked, the previous 5 games. Get back to, that MVP level, and obviously the other thing happens. Tonight, obviously, I thought the first half was pretty good, moved really well, and it's when you miss almost a month and you've only had about 2 core sessions, going up and down. It's gonna be tough. So it's just like the Boston game. It feels like the first game of the season. You build on it, and not even mad about tonight. I'm just happy that I got a chance to play a game of basketball, build on it, and you go from the next game. Whether shots fall or not, I don't really judge myself based on the shots fell or not. It's all about I moved out, laterally, jumping and all that stuff. tonight was a good step towards that. Felt good in the first half, and until obviously in the second half it was a little rough. But you build on what that first half looked like, and you go from there.
As a competitor, obviously I know you want to be out there. You played 30 minutes, which is most you played in the games. Then obviously you couldn't play in that second overtime. How difficult was that to have to watch at that point with the way that game was going back and forth?
It's tough. Obviously, I fought hard, to be even in that first overtime, and then obviously in the second overtime, I wasn't allowed to keep going. Yeah, it's tough. You want to be out there, especially because we lost. If we would have won, I wouldn't have cared, but I still felt like, there's something I could have done, just being on the floor. It's tough, but, got to move forward. Can't look back and trying to learn from it and get better.
From your perspective,
Last
that's
couple
kind of what
questions.
happened in the fourth quarter. I think Atlanta started the fourth on the 13th.
Yeah. What's the question?
I
What
guess,
happened?
I guess kind of like what happened.
We missed shots. I think I missed 2 shots. We turned the ball over. They made all the shots.
You had a lot of moments where you had kind of 2-man actions with Tyrese.
Yeah.
How much did that kind of settle you back into a game like this, knowing how many times you guys have done that in the past as kind of like something to build around?
Yeah, obviously, when you get down to it, game is tight. You always feel like we always have that in our back pocket. We haven't been able to use it, at least for my first 7 games that I played. But when the game is close, you feel like we always have. We know we have that connection. I think, for me this year, we're good at it. We got that chemistry. But, as we go on, for the rest of the season, I think it's all about obviously involving everybody else playing together. We could probably run, especially when I'm feeling good and, and I'm, short rolling and I can make, 9 of those 10 shots every single time. But it's easy to get there. But I think it's also better when everybody else is involved and, we play together.
I know there's 100
question.
reasons you want to be on the floor, but as seeing Tyrese play at the level that he's playing at right now, added any extra urgency for you, like feeling I got to be out there to help him because you've been in that position before where you've needed that help from other guys?
The only thing I'll say is I do feel bad, but it's unfortunate. You can only control what you can control. I don't think there's any. And if anybody thinks that I don't want to play every game, that's the problem. But I think history has shown that I would do anything just to play one game of basketball. So I do feel bad. Obviously, the minutes that he has to play, the load that he has to handle. I've been there. I know how it feels. But you just gotta have the trust in what you're doing and in God, and be okay with the fact that whatever happens. If I have something happen to me like it happened, what can I do? Just go out and rehab and come back as soon as possible. That's the mindset. But obviously he's having a great season, MVP-like season. Extremely proud of him, what he's been able to accomplish, and obviously carrying the load. He's doing a fantastic job.
Calf is great. I feel great. I was able to run up and down, no pain or anything like that. I'm not sore or anything right now, so God is good. My calf is great.
Nick has been big on playing you in closing minutes of close games, basically no matter what, but you had the minutes limit today. Was it difficult for you to watch that game go down to the wire and not be able to play?
Obviously from a player standpoint, you want to be on the floor. But I'm super proud of my teammates, just how they fought. Obviously I know there's nothing I can do about the restrictions right now, but I'm just happy that my teammates fought until the end of the game.
This was your first time playing with Joel and Tyrese and Paul all at the same time.
Yeah.
Those 3 guys' first time playing together this year. I guess, what did you make of your time on the floor with all 3 of those guys?
To be honest, I'm just playing. I'm just out there hooping for real. Knowing the spots, knowing where they get to, knowing some situations. So I just be ready the whole time. Just get out and go also. There's some transition to try to get something easy. just try to be a threat, take some of the pressure off of them. So yeah.
Can you just sort of walk us through just what the last couple weeks have been like as far as treatment, getting yourself back to a place where you could get up and down the floor without pain today?
Yeah, credit to medical staff. We've been doing a lot of treatment, all necessary steps. It's just for me to be 100%. And say it worked. It worked. And I feel great. And yeah, like I say, restrictions all because of just trying to take precautionary steps, just so we don't overload my calf or something. First game back or anything like that. So, but overall, I feel great. And credit to them.
Tyrese played 52 minutes, and that's been maybe not 52 minutes, but lots of minutes all season long. Like when you see him continue to just do that and be juiced up for a second overtime, I guess just like what is that like as a teammate to kind of watch that over and over?
Man, it was. I'll be honest. Obviously, 52 minutes is a lot. We try to keep the game at 48, no overtimes, but he's elite. He's elite, man. Somewhere he's so dynamic. Someone that's like just really good at basketball. So I just sit there and just be like, yeah, he's like shots he make. I expect it now at this point, especially just being alongside him. I'm just watching him work out, stuff like that. Like the shots I see him make, the layups I see him make. I'm like, it don't even surprise me no more. But he's really good. So.